Day 2 at NAMM. I'm already getting NAMM voice a little bit. It's a good thing to have this microphone. And it's a good thing I don't have to sing. Although this music by our neighbors is inspiring, so I might break into some song here. You never know what's going to happen at NAMM. So I'm very pleased to be here. Pleased is probably, I should exaggerate a little bit more about this, because the fact that we're all standing here and we're in front of the Osmos keyboard, the invention of my friends at Expressive E, is extremely exciting. I'll be honest with you, I've been in this business for a very long time, and I've played a lot of instruments, a lot of keyboards, and there's maybe a couple, 2 or 3 that I could say that has an amazing influence on my life. And so this instrument is definitely one of them. I'm not kidding. This is like really, really exceptional. Changes the game. I already congratulated my friends on the product, and I'm just happy to be here to present it to you. So I've got a bunch of different sounds to play and hang out for a little while and show you kind of what I know about it and have some fun playing. And yeah, just check it out. It's awesome. I'll just start out by playing a little bit, and here we go. So yeah, you probably can already notice that this keyboard does some things that other keyboards just do not do. And the thing that excites me the most, and the reason that I think this changes the game, is because this keyboard actually allows a keyboard player to enter the world of a continuous style instrument. What I mean by that, if you think about a violin, or you think about a voice, or a brass instrument where you blow into it, you know, you have this continuous control of the sound, like every moment that you're doing it. And when people think about keyboards, they think about, okay, you press the key goes down, the hammer hits the string, or hits the contact, and then the synthesizer is in charge of everything else after that. So with this instrument, it's not like that at all. The guys completely reinvented the keyboard, and you're able to do all those kind of things like a wind instrument or a bowed instrument. I'll show you a couple of the sounds that kind of, you know, present that to you guys. So this is one of them. Let's take a listen. So what's happening is that as soon as my hand goes down on a key, thank you so much, as soon as my hand goes down on the key, even the slightest bit, it starts to bring in the sound. It can, it's all about how you program it. Let's go to another quick example to show you a different kind of a sound. This one, yeah, that one, cool. So if I press the key, as soon as I press, you start hearing sound, and as I press into it, so you can do this really cool kind of crescendo just by the way you press the key. And every note is completely independent, which is amazing. So I could be expressing a melody in one hand, and the bass octave playing something totally different. Every finger is absolutely independent. Not only that, you might notice that in addition to this action of just pressing the key and having the sound come in so gradually and musically, there's also what we call aftertouch. This is pressure, and aftertouch is when the key goes down and then there's a little bit more room to press into the keyboard. On like every other keyboard in this whole place, if you press into it and you use aftertouch, you're basically pressing into nothing. There's nothing to feel. On this keyboard, you play along in a normal way, and when you get to a note you want to do aftertouch, not only do you really hear it, but you also really feel it, and it feels really good. I don't know how the guys did that. It's pretty amazing, because for so many years, most of my whole life, I've been trying aftertouch and generally turning it off, because it's like, who wants to press into nothing? So on this keyboard, you really have a real feeling. It's a real tactile sensation. So the other thing that's going on is these keys will go side to side. Now you'll notice as I'm playing, just like riffing, you know, everything is very stable. But if I want to, I can shake any of the keys. So things I would have to use a pitch wheel for, or a mod wheel, I don't really have to do that at all. And you can even do things like, who would ever thought that you could do like lap steel kind of things on the keyboard? That's crazy. So I can hold one note, that doesn't bend at all, and then I can bend notes underneath it. So between the pressure and just pressing ever so slowly and getting crescendos, between the wiggling of the keys from side to side and the aftertouch, and also this very cool parameter which we call press glide, which is the reason I can play this kind of thing. And technically what's happening is we set an interval for the press glide. Like I said, a half step. Basically means that if I try to play a half step anywhere in the keyboard, it's not going to play both notes at the same time. But the cool thing about it is that it'll play every other combination of notes. And that enables me to bend like from D to E flat and hold maybe a G on top. The other amazing thing is that the way the glide works, or the portamento, is it's almost like a seesaw. So if I want to go between these two notes, it kind of is looking at how quickly I let my hand up from the source note and how fast I press down on the target note. So very cool. Matter of fact, a good example of that, and I'll get back to that sound to play a tune in a second, is this one. So this sound. So this one I have the press glide set to an octave, right? So if I try to play something within that octave, I'm only going to get a chord, I'm only going to get one note. But if I play outside of that, that'll work. So to show you this seesaw effect, which is very powerful because it really relies on the way you're actually playing this instrument. So I could play like from D to D, no bend at all. I could do it fast, or I could do it slow, or very very slow by lifting up this key, so slow and moving. Come on, there you go. And then a little. Right. So if I played it with two hands, knowing that I have that octave, it could be something like this. And just to show you a little bit, switching gears just for a second to, I wanted to show something that might be a little bit different. Let's see. Yeah, like a percussion kind of sound. These are really, really cool. Okay, with this sound, I love what's going on here. I just touch the keyboard just a little bit, the slightest touch, and it. Right? I'm hardly pressing down on the keys at all. I'm getting all this dynamic. Now with aftertouch, so now my hand is all the way down on the key. You're not really hearing much of anything, but if I press into it now, so I can be like, that's one of the cool percussion sounds I was going to show. The other one, just to show the point here. This one. So now I'm pressing in using the aftertouch. Or even just running my hands very lightly over it. Really amazing. And I should say, for those of you who don't know, that all the sounds that I'm playing are internal to the Osmos. One of the brilliant things about this, and again, which I told the guys was just like so amazing to me, is the marriage, if you will, between the sound engine, which is the Egan Matrix, very similar to, maybe you guys have seen me play the Continuum before. So this has the Egan Matrix in a slightly different form. And the marriage between the physical engineering of the Osmos and the sound engine really is part of what creates this incredible instrument as a whole. It's also a MIDI controller. We can look at that pretty soon. But it definitely is this this cool combination of internal sound engine and physical engineering. So let's look at this sound. Okay, I'll display something. This is I guess a new version, if you will. I'm going to kind of improvise around it of an LTE song, Hourglass. So we keep hear how it goes. All right. So what I think is really interesting and kind of almost important to take note of is that even though there's all this expression on the keyboard, it still allows me to play pretty much as fast as I want to, which is awesome, because sometimes I like to move my fingers, as so many people might know, and I don't want to be limited just because it does a lot of things. I don't want to have to slow down, and so if anything, it might be more responsive than a normal one, because if I want to, I can have the sound actually coming in before I reach the bottom of the key, which kind of is the case in this sound. Even at the top of the key, it starts to bring in the notes slowly and expressively. You know, one of the things I did not point out, which I want to, because there's so much to cover with this instrument, is the fact that you also have release, the potential for release velocity triggering sounds or parameters. So with this one, if I play, you can hear as I release the key. If I release it quickly, you'll hear a note kind of come in. If I release it very slowly, then it won't do that. So here's quick. Literally, it depends on the speed. So if I'm playing along, or I can get it or not. So I can really use it in my musical performance. So those have kind of opened up all new possibilities as well. I also want to talk a little bit more about the sound engine. Thanks so much. So with the sound engine, you know, one of the things that's really possible to do is kind of emulate very realistic organic string sounds and woodwind sounds and brass sounds. A couple of the string sounds we have in here I'll play for you. These are, again, internal sounds to the Osmos. right, my friends. Thank you so much for checking out the Osmos. It's our pleasure to present it to you. If you haven't put your hands on it, I'm sure you'll be able to do that here at the NAMM show. If you're a keyboard player especially, do check it out because it'll change your life and change your world. My name is Jordan Rudess. I want to thank my friends here for having me, and I'll be back again tomorrow to do some more Osmos stuff. All right, cool. Thank you very much.